Hey guys, it's Sarah here. Today we're just going to be doing a really quick and basic little video tutorial showing you how to use the clip set button on Inkscape to create stars and hearts that have a pattern in them. Lots of other ways to do this, but this is a really simple little way using the free features over on Inkscape. So a lot of the times you might just want to create a new shape. You could use it for then putting into a seamless pattern, or you might want to use it as, say, like a background for a mug, and you just want a a pattern that you like, that you've got maybe a seamless pattern for, but you actually want it in a shape. So say down here you've got this little design and you wanted to put it on a mug, but you wanted a heart behind it, or you wanted to put lots of these over a to make it into a seamless pattern for fabric or something along those lines, or you're making little stickers for products or something like that. These are just some very basic examples, and you can do this with photographs as well. So maybe put a picture of your cat's face in the middle of the love heart, or anything along those lines. You're going to need two things. You're going to need the design that you want to three things if that's the case. You're going to need your background pattern that you want. You're going to need a cutout, so the shape you want, like a cookie cutter, and you're going to need another design if you want to put that in or not, in the case of just doing it like this. So let's get started. We're just going to get our background design here. So I've just imported, file, and imported a seamless tile from wherever it might happen to be. So I've got lots of examples in here that you could import, or whatever it might be. Then we're going to get our shape, and in this case we're going to start off with a star, and we're just going to drag that over our surface like that. So that's the size of the star that we want. Of course you could change that up, we'll change that down, and we're just going to select both of those and go Object, Clip and Set, and that's it. You have your star, which is fantastic. If you wanted to do, say, this one here, exactly the same thing applies. So select them like that, Object, Clip and Set, and then you have a star with that, oops, you raise it up to the front, with that that background in it. Same thing here, if you wanted the little heart that we saw down here. You can imagine like that would be really cute for something, and same with the star here. And this one, it's only one extra little wee step that we need to do. I think I'll put the panda under here actually. Let's get rid of you, panda, for the moment. You put your shape in there that you want, and then we're going to create a circle that will go over the top. If you're seeing your other design through there, make sure you bump that circle right to the top. And a little hint, just to make sure, because you don't know quite where that's going to be and it might end up sort of not in the right spot. If you come down, and you're not going to be able to see this because of my design down there, but right down the bottom it says O for opacity and 100 next to it. If you drop that down to 50, you will be able to see your shape through, and then you can just wiggle that round till you get it into the right spot, and then make sure you bump that back up to 100, and then you select all of those together and you go Object, Clip, and guess what, Clip Set, and you end up with this. You will be able to wiggle that flower around a little bit more on your design there, and then a good idea at that point is to go Object and group that, and then you have another little wee cutout shape. And same thing here, if you wanted to do this, let's just bring this down here. If you want to make this into that little wee sticker, you're just going to get a get your design there, change that to 50, so opacity again, so you can see through it, and you can wiggle that round to where you want it. So here we are, and we're just going to wiggle that around to get it to the spot that we want that to be in, and just check the opacity of under the opacity of that. So hit 50 down that little O box. It's right down, sort of about first box in there. Push enter. Oops, see, we might need to move that over just a touch to center that. Get that exactly where we want it, and then change that back up to 100. You can use all the align tools and buttons and things in here as well, but it's just another step. And there you go. Select it all. Object group. You can also control G as well for that. And there is your little design there. And then for this one, I use the heart shape. I'm just going to go and get the heart shape. Now this one, it is a PNG image that I have imported in, and I don't know, for some reason it doesn't like to do clip set with PNG imported images. I basically sort of need to turn it into a vector. Really easiest way to do that, I actually just color that, and then you can it takes a copy. The other way you can do is go up into the trace bitmap and make a vector copy of it, but I'm not going to do that today. We're just going to make a color copy of it and move it down to here, and just hitting Control as I drag that up there so it will stay with the same dimensions. And again, same thing that you can do with that. You can drop the opacity down to 50%, just to make sure you're getting your design in the right spot for what you want to do. And make sure you pop that back up to 100% before you do the next step. Again, it's just a simple matter of going like that, object, clip and set, and there you go. Best to group your design once you've got it in the right spot, or if you decide you don't like that, you can go object ungroup as well, and then wiggle that design around where you want it, and go back to group them, and then you can move that over. So that's just a really quick little example of how you can make cutout shapes using Inkscape. I find these are really really cute. You can make like a whole set of, you know, little hearts and group them together into another design to put on whatever it might happen to be, whether that's for fabric or whether it is for print on demand. And then if you want to use these shapes themselves, so not just in this design, all you need to do is click on your shape, and you're going to go to, and I have muddled up my layer dockers down here today. I need to get them back. So click selection, make sure your export area is hit on selection, make sure you're at 300 dpi, otherwise it won't be any good for print, and you're going to hit export as, and then navigate to the folder that you want to save it in. It's just my test folder, and we're going to hit save, and then you'll need to hit export. Don't forget that button, and that will export that as a PNG, and then you can actually just re-import that. Let's have a look. Import. Give me a second. Here we are. We're just going to import that again. And the difference between this one and this one is this won't be able to, like in this one, the other background is still sort of hiding in the file, in the image, whereas this one, it's just itself. So I'm just going to hit the duplicate button there, and going to go object, clip and set, and there we go. If you hadn't re-imported that PNG, this would have ended up just like that. So it's important to re-import it as a separate image before you start trying to mess about with it too much, because when it's in Inkscape it keeps the data, I guess, that was behind it. So yeah, I don't know if there's another workaround for that, but I find, yeah, just exporting that to keep the shape is the best idea. Okay guys, so that's it. It's a very easy little way just to make a cutout shape using a background. So I mean it's no different to say if you've got like a piece of paper and you're just wanting to cut out, you know, cut out a shape because you want to use that particular shape with that paper. So you just need to import your background design. Of course, in this case, it doesn't need to be a seamless design, but these just are. So I mean, if it was just a normal, you know, like a paper that isn't seamless, that's not a problem either. And then you need your shape that you're going to stamp out or cut out, like a cookie cutter, whatever it might happen to be. And that needs to be in a vector format rather than another PNG, and if it is, you're going to need to make a copy. I will do another video on how to use the trace bitmap feature to make a copy. It doesn't work very well with fancy designs like this, but it works perfectly well with shapes. You can do it, it's just a bit more fussy with stuff like that. And then you sort of group them all together, and you can also add in that second layer as well if you want to, and have a background design and then cut it out, and that's not a problem, and you can group those together, and or not in that case, don't have them grouped together, and then you hit select on there. As long as they're all grouped together, then you hit that and then go selection, and you can export it as its own little design. So I hope that's been helpful, and see you in the next video.